When do we need to use it? Many of us talk and act differently when we were with our friends versus if we have a job interview. Those actions are just normal. We wouldn't ask our job interviewer, like, what was up? What you probably don't know is that people with a hearing or speaking disability use sign language, also have a formal and informal way of signing, and that is what I will be discussing today. According to the article American Sign Language from 2009, sign language is not just gestures, but it also has different variations within one language. And according to the article Sign Language and Deaf Communication Methods and Information from the Disabled World, sign language is a legitimate language used around the world and is different in each country. According to the article Sign Language from the University of Florida, it states that there are many myths regarding sign language, and as Mythbusters would say, busted, sign language reflects miming, and when actually sign language uses the waist up, where miming uses the whole body. Another myth that has been busted is that sign language uses the same grammar as the English language, when actually sign language has its own form of grammar, and that is not associated with the English language. Today I'm going to share information on how to not make a faux pas when deciding when to use formal and informal sign language. I'm going to cover 3 areas: informal sign language, formal sign language, and when to use them. First, I would like to start off on informal sign language. In Joanna Leake's tutorial on greeting and introduction in American Sign Language culture, she states that in American Sign Language, when one speaking or hearing impaired greets another speaker of ASL, they will greet in a greeting code, kind of like we hug our friends when we see them. And when a greeter of a non-speaker of American Sign Language in an informal setting, one would sign what up or hello. Next, I would like to discuss formal sign language. Continuing on Joanna Leake's tutorial, she states that American Sign Language users typically do not sign good morning, but will greet hello or hi in a professional way. When asking how someone is in a formal setting, instead of what up, one would sign how are you. When signing goodbye, one would sign bye, bye. Now that you know formal and informal sign language, I'm going to discuss on when to use them. Informal sign language is used when you're with your friends, your family, your classmates, and so on. Formal sign language is used when you're being interviewed in the workplace or communicating with a professor, doctor, teacher, and so on. We never know when we will come in contact and have to communicate with someone who is hearing and speaking impaired. I've shared information about formal and informal sign language, as well as when to use them. I hope this information will help you to not make a faux pas of yourself when communicating with someone who is hearing or speaking impaired. We never know when we will come in contact and have to communicate with someone who is hearing